Hey, welcome back. This is Paramedic Project and thanks for joining us once again. Today I wanted to share with you concepts around being a great second officer. Now, we talk so often about what it means to be a great paramedic, and I think in a lot of people's minds that is really talking about what it means to be a great first officer. It's about patient assessment, it's about making those really important decisions for the welfare of the patient, it's about the communication, and it's about really doing some of those life-saving skills that we practice so hard. The reality of being a paramedic is that 50% of the time you're often the second officer. That means the patient that drives the ambulance, the patient that takes vital signs on scene, the patient that ferries equipment in and out from the ambulance to facilitate the extrication of the patient from where they are towards the ambulance. So let's expand a few of those themes around what it means to be a great second officer. So first of all, I think the biggest thing to acknowledge is that at some stage when you're first officer, a patient will come along that is really out of your depth. They're above your clinical standing, they are above your clinical experience and knowledge, and at that stage you need to recognise those patients and be able to step aside with humility, drop your ego and let someone else with more experience and more knowledge and better skills step forward and really start leading this scene. Now, that's really difficult sometimes, and it also means then that you have to change your role, assume the second officer role. And when I do that, which I've had to do a number of times, I always like to then step back forward, make myself part of that high functioning team once again, and ask the leading paramedic on scene, what would you like me to do? And that then puts me back in the sort of team approach frame of mind, and it starts me contributing towards the team. And in the end, this high functioning team is one where different people can step up and take the lead. They can, so sometimes we're leading the scene, sometimes we have to take leadership also. And these scenes and the patients are very dynamic, so those roles often change in one simple ambulance case. So that's a really important first step. Ask the leading paramedic, what would you like me to do? Engage in the team. Second thing I think I want to point out along the same lines is that just because you're second officer doesn't remove you from the responsibility of the patient's welfare. You can't switch your brain off when you're second officer and put all the responsibility of caring for this patient onto the first officer. It's as much your responsibility as it is the first officer's responsibility or the patient care officer's responsibility. And in fact, when we're working this high functioning team, everybody shares the load, and that includes the responsibility of taking care of this patient, even though the roles are quite different. So that's the second thing I want to share. The third thing, and this is something I share with all the new paramedics or novice paramedics, and something that I have given instruction to people on scenes, is never walk anywhere with empty hands, especially as a second paramedic. Now, this really comes from if you've ever worked in a construction background or in a kitchen, in one of those trade type work environments. You never walk anywhere with empty hands because there's always something to carry. And that's especially true of the second officer role. First officer stays with the patient more, makes sure they're okay. Second officer, as I said before, is about ferrying equipment in and out from the ambulance. So if you're going out to the ambulance to get a piece of equipment, chances are there's something from inside that you need to take out with you. And vice versa, when you're coming back in, there's probably another piece of equipment needed in here that you're going to have to carry in. So try to never walk anywhere with empty hands. That just improves the efficiency of what you're doing on scene. It improves the efficiency of the entire team. And then that flows downstream to great patient care outcomes. It's been Paramedic Project. Thanks for joining us once again. Find us on social media. We'll see you next time.